Hey everyone, come follow me again. Yay, we're back. So sections 89 to 92. Now 89, you might think, oh gosh, that's familiar. It's the word of wisdom one. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but we're also going to look at the other sections this week, because I think for a lot of Sunday schools they'll get stuck on section 89, and there's some really other good stuff in there that we can learn from, and a lot of us have familiarity with 89 already, so we'll do a little bit on that and then move on. Right now I'm out at Legacy Park. My dear husband Dave's gone for a walk because he's recovering from a cerebral bypass, so out here in the sun, although be it cold. You see I've got my jersey on, but look, hang on, get it right. Oh, there. New Zealand temple. Still can't go in there, still can't get near it because it's being done up. And lovely waterfall, Legacy Park's beautiful. For those of you that started following me after I got published in Work and Wonder, this is where I fell over and wrote the article about that way, though, in the trees. But the same sky, same place, so you get to see it right by the temple. Alright, so let's start in section 89. Now remember, when you look at this, there's a couple of things I really want to go for, in that this is a health code. It's not a health code, it's a holiness code. A lot of people look at it as simply health and think that because they eat well they're not going to get sick, or that if they do these things that nothing bad's going to happen to them. Now all of us are vulnerable to decay and death and getting old. It's what happens. And for me, I got sick when I was young, so I know that happens a lot to people too, and it doesn't mean that I wasn't keeping the word of wisdom. So these things happen. So don't think of it as a health code, it's a holiness code. And also that it was given in the context of the school of the prophets, because that's where they were. And a lot of you know the story about Emma saying, look, I don't think this is a good thing. But the discussion was happening already anyway. It was just her that actually spoke up again. And Joseph at that point went, actually it's probably a good idea that I, have a pray about it. Brigham Young was already questioning it as well. Just the grossness of it, really. So there's some interesting background on that. There's a lot on the church website. There's a lot, you could read Wikipedia if you want to be a little weird there, but church website's awesome, got some really good stuff on that. So section 89 says a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to go into the specifics because we're going to look at the overall thing of it. So when you're reading this, you really want to look at what is the principle and what is the promise. So what's the principle of it, what's the promise of it? And just to note too, this is really good, a couple of things. So the context of the School of Prophets, that's now known as seminary and institute. So if you're at seminary or institute, you're in what was the School of the Prophets. That's kind of cool. And also, if you're going to go talking about oh, don't drink this, eat that, gotta do this, gotta do that, actually, Harold B. Lee, he said, avoid speculation, avoid speculative interpretations of the word of wisdom, because what you think it might be and what you're going on about, it isn't. So it's different for everyone, and we're going to get into that. So verse 4, I think we were going to, 3 to 4. So which says, given for a principle with promise. So what is the principle? What is the promise? Have a look for those. Adapted to the capacity of the weak and the weakest of all saints, who are or can be called saints. So as it fits you in your season, what's going on for you right now, what's best for you right now, and that will change throughout your life, okay? When you're younger, you can get away with a whole lot of things that you don't when you're older, because it just doesn't feel right, you can't stay up later at night, you can't, well you could, but it's disastrous, and you all know what I'm talking about. So as it fits for your season of life. Verse 4 says, behold, verily thus saith the Lord unto you, in consequence of evils and designs which do and will exist in the hearts of conspiring men in the last days, I have warned you and forewarned you by giving unto you this word of wisdom by revelation. So this is a warning against things that are going to pollute, because there are evil people out there who want to be the end of you. They don't want you to be doing good. They don't want you to be prospering and doing well. So it's about keeping it good. So it's a holiness code, not a health code. Now that's Anthony Sweat, and he's amazing. So think of, it's good stuff. So for everyone in their season, and it's a warning against things that pollute, I said that. So find one thing to improve. So if you're reading in this section and you're thinking, gosh, I feel bad about that, and gosh, I feel bad about that. You know, like, don't get overwhelmed with it. Just think of one thing that you want to improve. One thing that you want to get better at. Whether it's going to bed a bit earlier, whether it's getting up a little earlier and getting into a routine of that. Maybe you need to drink more water. Maybe for you, you need to cook more meals at home. Maybe you actually need to eat at a table with people. Maybe you just need to have a prayer more. I don't know. You will know. If you're in tune with the Holy Ghost, you pray about what you can do to improve your living of the word of wisdom. You will know what it is. I don't need to tell you. I don't need to tell you what's right for you and your body, and nobody should be. You know, if you're in tune and you're being sensible and following the best advice that you know, then you're fine. So it's about self-mastery, being the best so you can learn to enjoy life. It's a holiness code, not a health code. I keep saying that, and I will say that again. These patterns of behaviour will strengthen your spiritual core as you do this marathon called life. So, you know, when you're exercising, they talk about core strength. This will strengthen your spiritual core, because life is hard and it's incredibly difficult for those of us that have health problems, which is the majority of us actually, if you think about it and actually start talking to people. And it's hard. So be a little kinder. If people have got food allergies and say they can't eat this, they can't eat that, or they don't want to eat that, don't start questioning it. Don't make a big deal about it. Just give grace and be kind about it. That is their choice, and it's up to them, not you. You look after you, guide your family. Ultimately, it is the person's own choice, and it's about holiness and your relationship with the Lord. It's not a health code, okay? Because it often comes across as that. It encourages a lot of good stuff, and you have a read of it, have a good study of it. It encourages a lot of good stuff that's just generally good for you. It's not a health code, okay? Holiness code. All right. And Gordon B. Hinckley, because I love this, and it just goes so well. He said, life is to be enjoyed, not just endured. Life is to be enjoyed. So if you want the occasional little bit of something, and I'm not talking alcohol really not good for you. Absolutely. I'm talking like, you're having a holiday, and it's cake time, and you're like, no, can't have cake, it's got something. Just have a bit, it's all good. Don't be so hung up on everything. Enjoy life. Take this advice, make it good for your life. Alright? Alright, that's the first one. Hang around for the second, because we're moving over to section 90, and we're going to talk about some really cool people. Alright, see you there.